Now, after coming up with your working title, you can still narrow the title, or you can narrow your research problem. How? Here are some techniques. Step 1. List 3 broad topics relevant to your strand or anything that interests you. You can do that, listing 3 topics. And the next, in each of the broad topic, list at least 10 random words or phrases. Any word that you think that is relevant to the broad topics that you have listed, you can just write it down. And then in each topic, choose and combine 2. After listing the 10 random words or phrases, you can choose among these 10 and combine 2 or 3. Okay? And then write the research topic and narrow it further by, state a problem relevant to the combined words. So let's say you were able to combine 2 or 3 words. You think of a problem that can be generated out of these words that you had chosen. And then write the research topic. Write the topic. And then narrow it further by including demographic profiles. Like farmers' demographic profiles, meaning the group of respondents that you want to study. Students, parents, stakeholders, volunteer teachers. So those are some of the examples of demographic profiles. Senior citizens, include them, barangay officials, LGU officials, politicians, there are many. And then this is what I call the random pick and pair technique. It is a technique for you to narrow down a very broad topic. Okay, let us try to apply what I have presented earlier, the different steps in narrowing down your broad topic. Here is an example. Given that you are asked to study about heart disease, so this is a broad topic, heart disease. It's a very broad. Is there a way to narrow it down? Okay, there is. Let's do this. List down words or phrases or anything that you know about heart disease. So these are some of the words. Old people. When we think of heart disease, we can think of the old people. Cardiovascular disease, somewhat related to heart disease. Age, gender, man. Okay, so these are some of the words. And then combine at least 2 or 3 of these words or phrases. Perhaps we combine older people die from heart attacks. So we combined old people and then cardiovascular disease. And then see if there is a connection from personal experience. Maybe you can think that your grandfather died from a heart disease. And then, next, the broad category of heart disease has now been narrowed into a specific topic. And this is it. Cardiovascular disease among older men. Grandfather is an old man. So, combining cardiovascular disease with old men as the demographic profile, we can study cardiovascular disease among older men. And then we can narrow it further by looking at the occupation and then ethnicity. For example, cardiovascular disease among teacher and police officers in Cagayan. You see? This is the technique of random pick and pair. It is a technique in narrowing a very broad topic. We were able to come up already with a working title based on the steps that we had done. Now, there are other strategies, and these are some of the suggested strategies and techniques in writing a research title. A result, method, topic, sample, or the RMTS technique. That's the first technique. This technique follows the formula result, and then colon, a method, study of the topic, and then among, who, sample, and then again a method or a technique. Let's have an example. Positive discipline increases motivation. That is the result. A quasi-experimental approach. That is the method. Of in-class performance. That is the topic. Among BNHS students. That is the sample. So you see, based on the given example of a title, we follow the RMTS technique, or result, method, topic, sample technique. Then another technique is the idea description technique. This technique consists of 2-part description of the paper. It follows the template idea first, and then colon, and then the description of that idea. This template may ask you to have a snappy name or acronym for your approach, but make sure that such acronym is widely used in the field. For example, GRAMPS, a generalized mission, multiple mobile robots in unstructured environments. See, GRAMPS is the acronym which is an idea, and then a generalized mission is the description of the idea of Gramps. Another example, household robotics, autonomous devices for vacuuming and lawn mowing. The idea here is household robotics. The description given is autonomous devices for vacuuming and lawn mowing. And the number 3 technique, ask, suggest, and revise technique, or ASAR technique. You need to ask the 5 W's and 1 H questions, and then give possible answer. Then after that, you revise the title until it becomes clear and specific. For example, your original title or research topic would be like this: HIV disease, to find out what people do when their relatives have it and what support they can get, and how do nurses deal with it. You see, this is still very broad because it seems that the researcher doesn't know yet which to focus in this title. So let us try to use the ASAR technique. Let us ask the question, who is most affected by the problem or issue? It is the relatives of the HIV patients. And then, what is the problem or the issue? What support can people get when they have relatives with HIV disease? Where is the problem or issue occurring? Health center, community hospital. When is this problem or issue occurring? It is always. Why is this problem or issue happening? There is no program, no project, or intervention is given. And then, how serious is this problem or issue? It is quite serious in the community. So using these answers of the 5 W's and 1 H questions, we can have this revised title: Evaluation on the Effectiveness of Kalinga Center Health Services among Relatives of HIV patients. Okay. Now, how would you know if your title is good or not? Let's have these characteristics of a good title. This will help you determine whether your title is a good title or not. First, a title should give readers information about the contents of the research and is preferable to one that is vague or general. Meaning, your title should not be vague. It is more preferred than a vague or general one. Okay? And then it should give, to make it or to avoid being vague or general in your title, make sure that the information about the contents are also clear to the readers. Number 2, the titles do not need to be stuffy or dull, but they should generally give readers some idea at the outset of what the research paper will contain. Of course, because the title is only limited by 12 to 15 words, so it should not be stuffy. Stuffy means there must be, it is as if there are many things already included in the title. As long as the title gives some idea, then it's good already. And then 3, choose a title that is a phrase rather than a complete sentence. Of course, the way we construct our title is not in a sentence form. Instead, it is more of a phrase. And then select a straightforward title over other kinds. Our title should also be straightforward in the sense that it provides directly what are the data that you are going to be providing, which will give an idea of what the readers need to expect from your study. Use no punctuation at the end of the title. Of course, since it is a phrase, we avoid using punctuations like question mark, period. The commonly used punctuation in a title is the colon. And then do not underline the title of research or enclose it in quotation marks. Instead, use a word processing program or printer that permits italics. Use them in place of comma, instead of underline rather. And then the problem may be stated in question form or given as a declarative statement. So any of the two. But then it is uncommon to use the question form in a title. Okay, so those are the things that you need to keep in mind while having the task finding your research problems or research topic. And then after looking into or after deciding what research topic you want to study, you also consider which of those research topics have you chosen is the most appropriate one for you by considering the guidelines in selecting the research topic. And then of course, you can also employ the random pick and pair technique in narrowing your research topic. And then there are suggested strategies for you to write the research title. These are the RMTS technique, the idea description technique, and the ASAR technique. And then after coming up with your working title, it's good to see if your title, your constructed title, is a good title or not by considering the characteristics of a good title. That would be all, and again, I hope you are learning. Thank you very much, and stay safe and God bless.